Okay, so we will call to order the meeting of the Berlin Council on Aging. Oh,
Oh,
here's
there he
Bob.
is.
Thursday, March 11th. It is 5:07 to start. And we have Kate Bliss. Bob Blair,
Here.
Lori Farabee,
Here.
and Linda Robinson, Derek.
Here.
Perez, and we have Karen joining us in a little while, and maybe John. Okay, so the purpose of this meeting is for us to do some searching of our brains to come up with some ideas as to how we can cover at least the critical pieces of Melissa's job at this point. Some of the things that we, have gained some momentum on and don't want to lose that momentum. And we can talk about what we think those things are. That's one of the reasons I wanted Melissa to join us as well. Talk about van coverage and how we're going to make that happen, because we don't want to lose any momentum on that. And what other support and resources we feel like we need. And then some open discussion if we need that, and that should be it. So can we start with what we think is most critical to cover in Melissa's absence? I think we probably should look at exercise and veterans breakfast as two things that we have large attendance to, and we don't want to lose momentum on that.
Yep.
Does everyone agree with that?
Yep,
Yes.
definitely.
Well, Meals on Wheels.
Yep, so, Let-
On a higher level though, I think we need to identify if we have any grants, fundings, or things that we're required to provide to be in compliance
yeah,
with anything.
let's start first with just the obvious and then go a little bit deeper, okay? So, the next Veterans Breakfast is,
Tomorrow.
okay, so that's covered, and then next month,
It'll be April, what is the second
Second Thursday.
Thursday?
okay.
I know it's the second Thursday, I just don't know the date off the top of my head. April 9th.
Okay,
And then it is May 7th. Right. Well, I don't know what to do about May, actually. Because that's actually the first Thursday, so it'd be May 14th.
okay,
Sorry, May starts on a Friday, I got confused. May 14th, and then it would be June 11th.
okay.
I do have it set up already with Buffet Way to cater through the end of this fiscal year.
Okay,
So if you want to keep that, if you don't have a caterer, then they would probably suggest that you cancel them. Just for serve safe, protection, food
yeah,
safety.
I'm not
all
ServSafe
that.
certified, so is anybody? No.
No,
So
so,
we can't go down that
yeah.
road. I mean, I think it's something we certainly want to look at in the future.
yeah.
But until we have somebody that's ServSafe certified.
Yeah, I mean, you would need serve safe and you need a kitchen that's serve safe. So the police and fire, when they finish that, it will be serve safe and you can use that.
Great.
You could use that. There are, I
The
think
Old Town
John
Hall?
said that is not serve safe.
Oh, it's not?
Any idea when they're gonna be done with the one here
I don't. I don't think it's gonna be like
this year?
soon. I don't know. I can double check on the date.
Okay.
I do know that there are, what is it, Mosaic? That has a full kitchen and everything, but I don't know that they're serve safe. I can double check on that.
Okay.
Cause that was offered for us to use as well. I will tell you though, the hard part about that is you're making food somewhere and then you're having to
Yeah.
bring it all in here.
Right.
If you can get, like tomorrow we have, I think 19 people signed up that I've confirmed. There's a couple that always show up but don't call me. And so they do it's like $600, and they come, they make everything right here, they pack it up, they leave it, they go.
Yeah.
So something to think about. You don't have to use them. They were just the first ones that I found after our grab and go caterers closed.
So are we saying that there's not a facility that does the catering and the hosting and we have to split them up? Whether it's because the kitchen isn't served safe?
No, I mean,
or-
we could try to do like Berlin Country Club. Is that what it's called? The Berlin Country Club? They provide their own caterers, which I believe is Buffet Way, but you'd have to then pay rental space for that as well. Something to think about if you want to host it there. But yeah, this all started with me cooking in a kitchen that was serve safe, I'm serve safe, and then it's just, it grew, and it's a lot of food to make and then bring in for that many people.
Yeah.
And so
And
we
what time
decided
does
to
it
cater.
start?
They are here at 8 to set
Okay.
up. They typically, last month, I think we started at like 9:15 by the time everybody kind of got in, got settled, but they make the eggs and the pancakes right there, so everything's like fresh and on like the thing, so.
But is that really, the country club's like really the only place in town that, the only other place I could think of is like the Portuguese Club, because technically part of the property's in Berlin, but it's
Yeah.
it's like on the outs, it's like in Hudson.
Yeah, I mean, it's not that we couldn't go, because I mean, everybody in the surrounding towns, vets are welcome. So you could look at a place that can accommodate both. I've just been always familiar with us hosting it as a council on aging and having it at the
Yeah.
location. But when you're talking budget and whatnot, I can see why that would probably be a little bit cheaper too, maybe.
It's just more like, the resources that go into planning and doing it, sometimes it's just easy to write a check, like, here, take care of it, and our people are gonna show up.
Exactly.
Which is kind of why I did catering. I was like, oh, they just show up. Now I just clean up, and you get to talk to the vets a little bit more and see if there's anything that they need or whatnot.
Did you say
Coordinated
Yeah.
delivery of food and all that,
Yeah,
it's just, I
yeah.
can see how that adds up.
Yeah.
Did you say the caterer is engaged through June?
Yes.
And the caterer, sorry, again, name is?
Buffet Way. Buffet
Way.
Yep.
Okay, we can get all the information, their phone numbers and,
Yeah.
okay.
And they submit a bill
I have all the invoices already. So you would just have to.
through June?
Yeah.
Okay.
So
And so
it's-
that funding is, through the town treasurer, has been pretty,
Well, no, I have a spreadsheet that I keep the money on, so
Mhm.
I know exactly what we have left in the budget.
Mhm.
And so you would have to submit it to June as
Yeah.
each month happens, but
that's what
yeah.
I'm asking.
So
But
you'll
it
have
goes to
already
Kate.
printed out,
Yeah,
okay.
it goes to Kate, she signs off
Signs.
on it, and then it goes to, June and Amy.
Yeah. Okay. And we've had up to 30 people at this, right?
Yeah,
On Veterans Day.
yeah, we average about 19, 21, that's about the average.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So did you have it today? You said it's on
It's
Wednesdays?
tomorrow.
It's on
Thursday.
Thursday?
Thursdays, the second
Second
Thursday of the month.
Thursday.
Do you need the dates again?
No, I've got them all written down here. I
Okay.
just thought they were usually on Wednesdays.
No.
No.
Mhm.
Okay. So that's sort of the most complicated that we're talking about at this point, right? The Veterans Breakfast. What exercise?
Yeah, I mean, same exercise, just lets you know if they're canceling, if they're not canceling. You just wanna make sure that you're matching up, that they are billing you for the dates that they were actually here. And then you just submit the invoice on the expenses again to Kate, so.
Does that group, do those individual instructors need anybody at the class? Do you go sit there or
Mm-mm.
anything? Okay.
No, and before I started, when there was a gap, they both had, well, she was here on Saturdays. Now it probably wouldn't be a big deal because the building's open when they're both here.
Okay.
But yeah, on Saturdays they had their own key fob, I guess, to
Yep.
get in on Saturdays. But now all of the classes are
During the
during
week?
the work hours of the town, the building
Okay.
being open.
All right.
Linda, did you mention as one of the services we need to focus on continuing is the van rides?
We
Not
haven't
yet.
got to that yet.
Yeah.
Okay.
Coming up.
Yep, we're getting there, but we're just starting with just
Well, I just
activities.
meant in the
One at a
list
time.
In the list of things you were talking about.
Yes.
Okay.
I can be here tomorrow at 9:15
Okay,
if you want some help, or we can see how, I know I've been to one of them
Yeah.
already, but just
yeah,
to
if you want.
double check on how
I can
everything's
be here
set
at
up.
8,
So you can see, yeah.
set up, so I
Set-
get to eat
Uh,
the food first, make sure it's not poison.
They won't be set up yet, but yes, you could do that.
Okay, so beyond those two, which I know at this point are our biggest groups, correct?
Mhm, yep.
Is there anything else that is scheduled or that is regularly scheduled weekly that we need to worry about?
So Meals on Wheels.
I mean, just
It's-
from programming, just
um,
activities. Let's
no,
start there.
No,
Okay, all right.
no.
So now let's talk about Meals on Wheels. What has to be covered?
On Mondays and Wednesdays, I print the route list, put it in an envelope. Tuesday, it's Bob, and then Thursday, it's April. You print a 2-page copy, like the full thing for them, and then you have to print it just the first page, because that has to go back to Mock. So when they're done delivering, you have to send it back to Mock that the meals were delivered.
Okay.
So somebody will have to sign the sheets and check them off. And that could just be the drivers and leaving them. I mean,
So it doesn't matter who signs it?
it doesn't have to be, not if you, I mean, I would say the person in charge would normally, but in the interim,
The interim.
I think if the drivers or the volunteers sign that they delivered them, you could just drop them in the box and then,
But you're not gonna be here
Whoever.
to print out those. I mean,
That's
I've been
what-
looking at my iPhone because Mark sends it out to the drivers as well.
I print it for you every Monday when we have it. And
I
it
know,
goes
But
downstairs.
you won't be here, so who's
Which is
printing?
why we're having this discussion, so you guys can figure out if somebody's gonna
Yeah,
print it
so
out.
I just want to identify the key things, and then we can all talk about how are we going to cover these key things, okay? Because, I mean, I think we have to keep it very limited as to what we can cover, because all of us have a lot of other stuff going on, so nobody can take over Melissa's job fully unless someone wants to volunteer for that. I can't, because I'm working.
Everybody's working.
But yeah, so I think, I just, my hope was that we could get it down to a few manageable bites, and then divide them up, or if there's, a tax work-off person that could do some of it, or however, I'm not really familiar with what resources may be available, but I hope together we can put our heads together and come up with some solution.
And I think that would be a great solution to just making sure someone's here to pick up the phone. Like somebody
Yeah.
just say, hey, this is my issue, and then we can meet. For example, if someone needs a referral to something, we do have the knowledge on our board to handle that referral and make sure they go where they need to. So that would be a huge help, I think.
Yeah. Again, finding someone willing to do hours like that to answer the
It would
phone.
be straight volunteer. I mean,
And we haven't had any luck finding any straight volunteers,
No.
right?
no. But I mean, if you approach it, I guess differently, like if you're asking people face to face, like, can you give up some time? Do you have time? I would say that I would suggest having 1 or 2 people, but that's it. Because you want to make sure people get the same information.
Yeah.
And the more people you have, you might tell them one way of doing it, you might tell them another way of doing it, versus here's the sheet, this is where you send them. And I have a home health aide that I usually refer to. I wrote up a form, the number for Mock, if they want to join Meals on Wheels, if they don't need Meals on Wheels anymore, if they want to take a break, whatever it is, who they need to contact, Social Security Worcester office. I wrote all that out on a form. But I would say the less people that you're trying to train
Well,
and bring
that
in
would be
there,
my feeling as well.
is
Yeah.
better.
We're going to leverage the ASAP more and
Yeah.
get them to do that information referral interview. We're not,
Yeah.
we may be able to do the INR piece, but we're not here to interview people and collect that. That's like what
And-
this-
and I
But
wasn't
that's
either.
a
I
referral
wasn't
that
either.
she
Oh, okay.
does.
Yeah.
That's what she does.
Yeah, no, I didn't do that either. It was,
Okay.
this is, you need home health, here are the 4 companies that I'm familiar with, that I have experience with, that I've heard good things about. And then if those don't work for what you're looking for, here are 4 more that I, but we start them with 4 because there's so much more to know in each individual. I just had somebody call one of them, they have a 6-hour minimum and it's $30 an hour.
So you're talking about private home care agencies?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
But you refer them to
Um,
ASAPs as well, right?
absolutely, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Which is Aging Services North Central Mass is who we use,
Yeah. Okay.
so.
It's, doesn't it change between CLW and, like, it's weird, they're up in Lawrence, our ASAP, right?
Mm-mm.
No?
Leominster and Fitchburg.
Leominster and Fitchburg.
Mhm.
But then for the ILC, it's Center for Living and Working, right?
I don't know what that is, sure.
Out of Worcester. And there's weird, like, service, like, nuances, there's boundary issues where we are. Because we're on the edge of, like, Worcester and Middlesex County, and one picks up the other. So they really are, either anybody in the ADRC would be equipped to go through and ask, like, the 15 questions saying, hey, 60% of your services go to the ASAP, but you know what, these other 20, these are DMH, and we need to call a DMH caseworker and get them on the line and coordinate all that stuff.
And I think that's what they do, like they would do that, they handle that, we
Yes,
don't
they,
That's
do
right.
they
that.
are the person
I'm-
that
Oh.
Could
make
we
that.
utilize I'm our wondering-
Oh.
nurse for this, if we get to this place?
I mean, for like
Even with
health
Kate
stuff,
over there.
you mean?
Or just helping us connect people with resources, because I feel like.
Put it on your message on your phone.
Okay.
I don't think you can staff it, but you could put, we do not currently have a COA director. This is your resource if you're
Okay.
looking for this. This is your,
Okay,
That's a great idea.
make it a message on the
Okay.
phone,
and then
Yeah.
also as the outgoing, like email, like a
Yeah.
return mail?
a
Okay.
return mail.
Can you have all that on an email too, with all that stuff?
Yeah,
She
like an
can
out of
have
office.
Yeah.
office.
And
Yeah.
you
I
can
think
list the
that's,
services.
I
Okay.
think trying to staff it with people who don't actually know is worse
Yeah.
than having a set.
Okay,
That's
That
what
would be my suggestion.
Because people aren't gonna know,
to
your
you.
volunteers not gonna know, you know, I know, but not everyone knows even.
right, and
just
that's why
because
if
I
we
know
find
it's-
too
Are
many
you- do you understand
It's
what
not
you're
a paid
saying?
position for me. It's not what I work with those roles, I facilitate them, but
Yeah.
it's not what I do professionally, so I still feel.
I also
And that's
think
how you
we
get-
have a lot of moving parts in our government right now, so if we're directing people on a wild goose chase,
Yeah.
it's not the
Yep.
best use of.
And I
Yeah.
think we just,
Thank you.
we just give the information of what are the top hits that you
Yeah.
get for calls.
well, I mean, in
No.
that case, we could keep it as simple as call Aging Services North Central Massachusetts.
Yeah.
For whatever your need is right now,
And they were.
and they can refer for
Yeah.
home
They'll
health,
know
they
where
can
to send
refer
them if
for
they're the
options
wrong
caring.
agency.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Did we not have a tax write-off person
No,
answering the phones for some period of time while we were not director?
Yes, at one
Oh,
point there was.
yeah, there
but
was.
That
You
was
mean
a while ago,
before
that was
Melissa?
before
Yeah.
Melissa,
That was-
yeah, that was,
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying.
how long ago did we say?
That is my concern
was.
of mine, is how cold that is to someone looking for help in services, like
like
it.
having a voicemail that says.
So you need to
instead of a
contact
human
somebody
person.
else, but like, it may be a solution, I don't know if we have the technology set up, but if someone leaves a voicemail there, it gets emailed to us and saying, hey, this person.
So they do.
Okay.
So the voicemails, when they leave voicemails, it goes to the director email, COA director
Pardon my bad.
email, as well as the COA at Town of Berlin email.
Yeah, and.
So in there, you just open them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you can all have the passwords and the logins and take turns
Yep.
checking the voicemail. I don't know.
And it's-
Assign a day or something if that's.
It's not so much like, hey, you have a need, let's talk about it, find out exactly what they are anymore. It's, this is the agency that's gonna ask you those questions from
Mhm.
now on until we find someone
Mhm.
new.
And I think we have to face some reality that, as difficult, I mean, I find that this is very difficult because we've got so much good momentum going, and we're gonna lose some of that. But there is reality in the situation that we're in, and we cannot reinvent Melissa until we can hire someone else, and we can't hire someone else until we can figure out the hours thing and all of that. So I think we, you know, we want to offer what support we can and also minimize the loss of momentum that we are going to experience by having no one in the position.
And the loss of, and the degradation of quality of service overall that our residents are gonna face because of it.
So, but I think, you know, we have to be realistic about what we can cover. We can't replace her.
Nope.
So, but we want to do the very best we can in order to cut our losses as much as we can, I think. Okay, so we'll figure out sort of how we do the Meals on Wheels things, as far as what has to be printed and that sort of thing. And
Quick question, Bob, where do you guys pick up the meals?
In the vestibule.
Right down in the front here.
Oh,
Come in
okay.
the door.
And then
They
where
get
do those, and they get delivered by the big organization?
Moi.
Yeah.
Oh, they come from
So
Moi.
They
Mock,
come from the-
yeah, Mock delivers
Yeah,
how many
okay.
we need, and then
Mock
Bob
is a
goes through,
contractor.
separates his, and
Mock
heads
is-
on out.
So it's like a paperboy route.
Yeah, yeah.
Yep.
Thank
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the van, because this is the one I don't know how we're gonna approach this.
I currently have rides booked through April for
Mhm.
some people, for a couple people. I don't know, it had been mentioned before if Patty wanted to take that on as a role, if we want a senior tax work off to take it. Again, it was with senior tax work off, and I heard complaints on both ends, from the previous driver, from the people riding the van, about things not being done, missing appointments, missing rides, not getting there in time.
And
I think
inflexibility.
I think the steadiness of having the same person that doesn't have other things that is invested in it, I don't know if that then becomes a conflict of interest. I think we'd have to, or not, maybe not, like, we'd have to rewrite her job description, because does that fall under other duties as assigned? If she's now booking her own rides, who checks up on whether she's booking rides for people and out on those rides? You know, I mean, there's a lot more to Patty, I guess, booking her own.
Right, right.
But run that by me again. Were the complaints about the previous
Mhm.
tax write-up person?
Yeah,
Mhm.
I've heard them too.
Mhm.
Yeah. And I think she, you know, she did, like, I think everything probably within her power to do, but I think there was inflexibility to a certain extent. So the breadth of coverage was minimized some.
I must have
And
been deaf. I never heard any of that.
yeah, yeah. So, you know, I mean, I think, again, I've said this before in this group, I think there's enormous value in the fact that Melissa was covering it, getting the calls, dispatching the calls, because she knew what flexibility could be built into the program that someone who's only got the paper with the rules maybe didn't. And also, it gives the opportunity of this position to have more interface with the seniors in town, and learn other things, other needs that they may have. So I think it would be my vote, if we come up with a temporary solution here of some sort, that when we do hire a replacement, that person resume that task, because I think it's another window into the seniors that is, you know, we're looking for them wherever we can find them at this point, so. But that doesn't help us right now.
I like the idea of Patty handling the calls, because if she's already doing all the van driving, she would know what is open, what she could do, what she couldn't do.
Right,
If
right.
that's a possibility, I mean, is she using all of her hours? No, so
No, and we
maybe,
have grant money,
Yeah,
don't
we
we?
have grant
How do you
money.
confirm the ride?
What's that?
How do you confirm the ride? I don't know Patty from a hole in hell.
Okay,
I'm
Patty's,
taking Mrs. Jones to a thing.
okay,
Yeah.
this is,
The ride never happens, but I
yeah.
put in my 2 hours.
Patty is the van driver.
No, I know that.
No, that's what he's
Yeah,
saying.
that's what he's saying,
How
though.
do we
What's the
confirm
check and
that that
balance?
actually happened? If she, there could be self-motivation to,
Yeah,
Right.
no, I'm not accusing her of anybody,
No,
I'm just
totally
saying,
understand,
you know,
totally understand.
But you're putting her in the position to be
What-
able to do,
Or to be questioned.
to be
Yeah.
questioned. There could be something
Unfairly.
completely,
Yeah.
you know.
which is why I was like, I don't know if conflict of interest was the right phrase, but
No,
yes,
it
that's
is.
where I was concerned because, yes, who's the checks and balances at that point? Do they turn it into, you know, her log? Mileage wise, well, unless she's just driving around, not that she would, but you have a we worked
It's
diligently
not-
on a
it's-
form, but,
you know what?
yeah.
It's not specific to her.
No, not at
No,
all.
right.
No.
But this is
Right.
what we're
And-
thinking, trying to understand and things that we would run
You know,
into.
It's not an emergency where someone, okay, I'll do it once,
Right,
but,
right,
you know, and then
Yeah.
he gets, I saw her riding around and,
mm-hmm,
you know.
yeah,
Yeah.
That's what I mean,
It's
the
not the
mileage
ideal
is-
solution, in all due respect.
yeah.
All someone has
Right.
to do is make a false accusation,
Yeah.
and she's thrown into something. Yeah.
All right, other
What
ideas?
if we followed up with the, riders and just said, you know, thanks for sticking with us in the interim, or be something to that effect, how was your ride? Is there anything that we can do to, I don't know. And
But then we have to find somebody
It's
to
like
do
more work
that.
right now. I
Make a
know.
phone call, right.
I think that's a piece of
How
technology.
many a week do you have?
Right now we've got like 4 people riding a week
And what, do they
Couple
call
times.
during normal business hours?
sometimes, or they leave voicemails. They can leave
So,
voicemails
and-
48 hours
And
before.
so what information are you gathering? I'm going to XYZ doctor on Tuesday at 10?
Yep, and then
that gets then forwarded to Patty?
it could if it was a voicemail or.
Well, no,
Yeah.
but so someone calls
Oh,
you.
no, right now I pull out the schedule for the day and I write down what time slot they want. I find out their appointment, where they're going, what time they want to get
And
picked
so
up.
that happens once a day, Monday through Friday, Thursday, right? Or they leave a voicemail, right?
Yeah, I mean, sometimes I get 3 calls in one day to push out appointments.
I mean,
like
is this-
there's
A month from
it's,
now, yeah,
yeah,
that's
I
3
mean,
I
it's
mean, we have a temporary
Yeah.
person, is that something they could do?
probably.
I mean, it doesn't
I mean,
sound
it's
like
just
the-
showing.
It's more important to answer the phone, get the facts correct, and get that
Mhm.
then transmitted to the driver. that you
And then it
gotta go
also
to-
needs to go in my senior center, so you guys
What?
don't lose. It needs to go into my senior center, so you don't lose the
Right,
money.
Right, but I mean, it's not, it's a 10-minute conversation
Yeah, probably.
4 times a week.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to think of a temporary solution.
Mm-hmm.
It's always a call, not an email.
I haven't received any emails.
For the
It's
van,
been
okay.
a phone call. Yeah, or like a voicemail.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, in the future, I don't see why there's no reason why it can't be automated in some way where somebody, you know, sends a text saying, I want to ride at this time on this day.
Not with this
goes back,
population.
Yeah,
no.
confirms.
And not
No.
texting.
No, we're not
Oh.
doing that. And again, we lose the personal connection. We lose the opportunity for to say, and you know, do you have food? And you know,
Yeah.
how are you going to pick up your prescriptions? Do you need a ride for that? Like there's a lot of interaction that can happen in those calls or the callback.
But that's not gonna happen in the temporary basis.
No, he's talking about in the future.
Right, in the future, AI will do everything.
This population's not
They'll
good at
even
texting.
drive
Yeah, I
you
just
there.
know from my own parents, my own, you know.
It's why
Well,
Uber isn't
one of
appropriate
us
for this
vehicles.
population.
Right.
Or Lyft, you know. There are seniors certainly who use Uber and Lyft, but as a solution, it's not a good solution for this population.
You have to look at it too, like my mom, my mother, my main mode of communication with them is text message. My wife's main mode of communication with them is text message. Their grandchildren's main mode of communication with them is text message. So I think
But that's
you're
not
selling
the,
We're not
across
though,
the whole
because
population.
I will tell you right now, the #1 complaint I get about people not knowing how events are. I don't have social media. I don't do any of that technology stuff. I want it in my hand.
Yeah, but
So you're talking about a couple people
Task here, guys.
and all.
Yes,
Did you hear what Kate
fantastic.
said?
That's
Yeah.
future.
Yeah.
Let's talk about solving the problem.
Okay.
Yeah, we're selling
Yeah.
today's problem.
Yeah.
So-
even.
Which is still not getting.
I think probably you want to just cover the folks that you have, right? So if we have the capacity with,
I'll talk to,
then they could be given that number rather than what they have.
yeah, I mean, we have somebody right now, 10 to 3 days, but I mean, if it's just picking up a phone, they don't have to be called back immediately, right? You know, a couple hours
I mean,
delay
yeah,
isn't gonna be.
Yeah, that's not,
No,
no, cause we require 48 hours. And, I mean, again, if we weren't using the van and they call the day before,
Why don't we
so,
just sit down
yeah.
tomorrow and talk to you?
yes,
Or
I will
Monday,
we'll
whatever,
figure out
or
a time.
Monday,
Tomorrow's
whatever,
tight, but,
to see
yeah.
if that's a reasonable short-term solution. Obviously, in the long term. I
Yeah.
Yeah,
can't speak
and
to
no
that.
more, no added in the
I'm
meantime.
very
Is that-
very anxious about doing that, to be honest
All
with
right,
you.
if you got a better solution,
I mean, no, I'm not your solution,
right.
but I think what
Anna?
Lisa's
Yeah.
saying is that, but we won't take any more
Do-
rides.
Do the commitments that you
Just what we've
have while
committed to
you're-
now. And I think, you know, our goal all along has been to be able to get the seniors in town to trust again after we were unable to have a van for a very long time. And so they don't trust that as a solution. We've now got the van up and running and starting to get some momentum to solve the problem of the seniors. And if we say, sorry again, we don't have a van, then they're not gonna trust us, you know, and it takes a long time to build that trust. So I'm anxious about saying, okay, we'll just shut it down again. We'll probably
think,
lose the
yeah.
driver as well, but,
I think the pushback is gonna be resources, so we also need to be careful in the
Right.
select board office about where those resources are being used. So
Right.
you guys work out where you're gonna work, but
Yeah, I
that
mean,
is
right
gonna
now,
be
it
the
sounds like
pushback.
it's 10 minutes 3-4 times a week each time.
Right.
And maybe if it's 5 people, I mean, it's not like it's exploding.
no, it
right?
shouldn't be
No.
a huge time commitment. I don't know what else you have for this temp, so I don't wanna assume that they
Paying
would
the
have
bills,
even that
answering the
much
phone, We
time.
give them things to do, or things to do to unburden us, but, I mean, I don't think that, I'm not hearing a big lift from a 5-minute conversation.
Right.
And all we, you know, but I'll talk to Dee tomorrow, and then, is there distance constraints or any of those?
Yeah, all
Yeah.
of that is outlined,
So
yeah.
that's all, so you can't, okay, so I can't go to Cleveland.
You can't go to Cleveland,
Okay.
You
or
can on your own
probably even
dime.
Newport on a nice day.
Okay,
Sorry.
we go to the UP, right?
Is that a board member could take on, or is that a conflict?
Hmm?
Member could take it on.
I'm sorry, I
She said,
couldn't.
could a board member take it on, or
Sure.
is that a
If someone wants to
conflict?
answer a phone,
Yeah, I mean, can you go,
but I don't know, it's gonna be the same phone now, it can't be changing every week.
can you call in to get messages
Yeah.
from
Oh, you can.
outside?
Yeah.
That would be convenient.
It
Yeah,
could be a call, it could be a board member.
yeah, so maybe.
I mean, honestly, like I said, every voicemail also goes to our email.
That's right, yeah.
So if you guys all just logged in or took whatever, somebody, you have access to it via the
I mean,
email.
if you-
Do we know how to log in? I don't know how to log in.
No,
To
we'd have to
COA?
get that information, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
I see the
It's-
voicemails that come through, but.
Yeah.
yeah, if
Yeah.
you wanna do that.
and all you do is
Everybody
it's
takes
like
a different
video,
week, or.
an audio file.
Is
Yeah.
there any confidential information on that email box?
No, it's
No.
their general, they already all have, well,
Okay.
I thought all had access to it.
Yeah, and
Probably
would
not
it be
you 'cause you're new,
confidential from the
but-
board anyway?
Well, if there's any information that Melissa has that is confidential to the folks that she's helping in there, I don't,
Oh, no, this is,
That
this
is-
is a COA at Town of Berlin, it's just, it's initially,
Just
my
that.
understanding was
So
the
I guess
board,
question though is.
my COA director email,
I just wanna make
but
sure
I don't think that
Right.
has any
that
confidential
any phone
information.
information or any email information
Yeah.
that might be,
Yeah, I don't
So
think
when-
there's.
When
It's
Mrs.
not-
Jones calls and said, I need to go to Dr. Smith,
Mm-hmm,
that's the extent of the.
yeah, the appointment
okay,
time, the
we
address.
don't need any
Yeah.
medical information, we don't need any of those kind of things that.
No, they will probably share it with you.
Yeah.
Well,
But
But
we're not
even not
asking, we're not asking those
Right.
questions, but they'll say, oh, I have a test for something, but, yeah,
Okay. but
that's
that-
just the conversation.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't require
You
any
don't
of that
solicit
information.
PHI.
No, no.
Yeah,
And is anybody denied for,
A
so are
ride?
these,
Mm-mm.
so you have medical appointments, what other things?
They have gone grocery shopping, they have gone to Marlboro Library,
But those are
They've
set
gone
things,
to the
right?
Lancaster
Oh, people can just call
Lights,
and say, hey, I wanna ride to the library.
48, yes, because we had to propose a schedule, and we did ultimately what we want the week to look like, but we're nowhere near. So we're just trying to provide as many rides as possible to find that trend.
Sure.
Of what day. Wednesdays, I will say, seem to be a little bit slower. Most like physical therapy appointments are Tuesday, Thursday. And I think that is because there's so many Monday holidays that they then would miss a day anyway.
And I'm
But
guessing it's first come, first served.
medical always takes precedence over grocery
Right.
shopping or anything like that.
So-
And then if it's booked for that,
But
Yeah.
somebody doesn't get bumped, cause someone calls you, hey, I wanna go to the library on Tuesday, and then someone calls, I got a doctor's appointment on Tuesday, do they get
Doctor's
bumped?
appointment will go
And then you
first.
call the other person
Mhm.
back and say, can you go an hour later, or whatever.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay,
Medical appointments take
okay,
precedence.
so.
Yeah.
There's a whole protocol written somewhere?
yes.
I believe so, yeah, because we had to
Okay.
do it in the when we
Yes.
Yeah, I thought
last.
there was.
So
I mean,
where we
did
will
it.
go, the
Yeah.
days, all of
and,
that.
You know,
is
you're
written.
all set
Yeah.
unless something comes up, and if not, we'll contact.
Yeah.
If
Yeah.
it's a library or a, you know, something that's not a medical
Right.
issue.
Yeah.
Right.
So when someone
And they
calls
just-
and asks for the library, or for example,
Tell
you
them
would
to go
say,
online.
there is a possibility if somebody calls,
Yeah.
okay,
Yep.
for a doctor's appointment,
Yeah.
we may have
We
to
have
bump
you. So I try to put the people that we have rode the van previously. Any new people have been told, as soon as you get your appointment, call.
Yeah.
And if you decide you don't need that, I rather have the medical appointments and not have to change somebody else. And I can say, oh, Karen called, and oh, I'm sorry, I have an appointment that time already. Can you do
X.
another time, or you know,
Yeah,
something?
go to the library at
Can we
2.
pick you up 15 minutes earlier than what you want? And so it's right now it's pretty open.
Okay.
We've only had a couple times that I'm like, how about 12:30? But for the most part, right now we're able to accommodate when they ask. So, but I would say Wednesday is the slower day. So I had been reaching out to Northbrook 2 to just say to their resident service coordinator, hey, on Mondays, like it looks like we don't have anybody booked for Wednesday. Is there anybody that would want to go take a ride? Do they need, you know?
Groceries.
Which we don't have
Yeah.
to do for the time being.
Yeah. I mean, and you know what? Truthfully, there were only a couple people that actually were like, oh, so that hasn't
Yeah,
taken
we
off
could
yet
pause
either.
that
but
probably
that
for
would
now,
be,
but-
yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so let's see if we can work something out amongst us.
Okay,
Before we, but
be
knowing that we
great.
could have that as a possibility, I
Yeah, I mean,
think,
if we had to cover for a week because someone wasn't around or something.
Yeah,
I mean, yeah,
that
if
would
you
be
can be the
helpful.
lead, that's great.
all right,
And then if we have to be a backstop because someone's not available or something, you know, I'm sure we
Okay.
can figure that out.
and we can talk about that. All right, so the van, we've talked about Meals on Wheels, the activities that we think we should be covered. What else has everyone been thinking about? Anything else that we should try to speak to?
We can keep the Potter House News going.
Yes, yeah,
Um,
okay, that's good.
I
And-
can work with Bob on that,
Okay,
Because we did it before.
yeah.
yep, okay. Yeah, and what, if I can be of any help, I'm happy to do whatever.
Just a few pithy comments for the front page.
Okay. We'll
You
see
asked.
what pithy things we can come up with.
And how you
Okay,
spell it.
other than that, Powder House News, what else? Can we think of anything else that,
We got the exercise, we got the meals, we got the rides,
yep,
vets.
that's breakfast. Yep. You have a few things that are scheduled out
Mhm.
that, I told you I'll come in and we'll spend some time, so
Mhm.
at least we'll be aware of what those are.
Yeah, I mean, I have, so the way I did it, I used like an event planning sheet. And so it's the contact person, who it is, when they're coming, is it in my senior center? I can show you my senior center, but those are the things that you need to keep for the data for the state.
Mm,
So
Yeah.
if you don't have it, they're gonna look at it and go, again, what are you operating? You have no check-ins, you have no van drivers, you're only doing,
Right.
bare minimum. Last year, when I first came on, it was time to do it, and I had to hand count the number of attendees for things.
Because we had no My Senior
So
Center.
again, we just run a little report.
Yeah.
And there it all is. So
Right,
you
right,
can
right,
actually
right.
export it right to the state from My Senior Center. So
Are you gonna,
Um,
do you have any ongoing, contracts or payments that will need to be, continue to be paid?
not for this fiscal year, other than, what do I have? No, I mean, just our activities and the yoga instructors, or the exercise
So who's
instructors.
processing that?
That's, I don't know. We were talking about it. They send the invoice and somebody's gotta get it over to
Okay.
Kate signs it.
Kate
right?
signs it.
And they
Yes.
send it by email?
I send it to Kate by email.
How do you get it? They
You're right,
drop
that-
it at your
the
office?
Kate
They
sign
email.
it.
No, they email.
Okay.
So you get an email.
Latha and Helen email. Actually, I think anything is email. The Fayway is email.
Okay,
All the entertainment that I've had is email.
everything's email.
Do you have to provide them with a paper copy?
I do, but I think in the interim, I think June and Amy said that they could just print it from yours, your approval, Kate.
Yeah, I know that it was like that for a bit and then.
Yeah, and then I just started printing out your email.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Is My Senior Center subscription based, or is that?
It's $1,500 for the year, but we just paid it,
Okay,
so it
you have
should
like
be
a
okay
year.
till, yeah.
Alright.
I'll double check the dates. I have a form, an Excel spreadsheet on what we have and what's expiring. I had Canva, but it was on mine and getting reimbursed for it. So that'll you guys just won't have Canva if you don't want
Is
it
that fiscal year or calendar year?
for
The
Canva.
contract?
Oh, for My Senior Center,
Mhm.
it's calendar year.
Calendar year.
It's when we joined it.
So it's good till December.
It should be.
Yep.
No, it's when you joined it. So I think it just renewed in February. So
What about making sure the data keeps going into My Senior Center?
Well, that's.
Well,
gonna
that's
what
be-
I'm
one of the
talking
things
about.
we're
That's what
gonna,
she's
we're
talking
gonna have
about.
to figure that out.
And
Yeah.
that's gonna be a big challenge, because none of us know My Senior Center, so.
I mean, it's pretty
Pretty intuitive?
easy. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Like if it's kind of all the same. It's just you set up an event, you put it in there, you put the people, you can register everybody from
So the event has to get added in,
yeah,
and then you. okay.
yeah. But I mean, I can write up the steps, and you can all have a copy, or I can email it to you guys so everybody knows.
That's probably a good idea.
It's not. Yeah.
I could do that. Go over it with you and I can put that in.
Okay.
Yeah, I think we had talked about spending some time with her, you and
Yeah.
I, right? Just
Yeah.
to get sort of all of
When's your
this.
last day again?
A
A
week,
week
from tomorrow.
Okay.
So we can talk about when we can come in and do that, and just
Okay.
spend some block of hours, just so we have somebody that can
Okay.
speak somewhat intelligently
Well,
about
and it goes with everything is like, for me, it's like, yes, 5 minutes on the van, 10 minutes here, 5 minutes here, somebody comes into your office. So it's like the constant interruption, and
Yeah.
having like somebody that just takes it and does it, which is why in our last meeting we were talking about an admin or something like that, makes a world of difference. So nothing takes, 7 hours to do
Right.
in one sitting, maybe besides grant writing, but
Well, we won't
other
be
than
grant
that,
writing.
yeah.
While you're gone.
So this will be all from
But-
sign-up sheets. People sign up and then we put them in.
Or or they'll call you
Yep.
and
Say, "I'd like to
register.
come."
Yeah.
Okay.
And then you just put them in. Mm-hmm.
Do we have a support plan with like My Senior Center? Let's say you're gone and we need help with the app. Could we call them like their
Yeah,
support?
you
up
just
at-
call, yeah,
Alright.
they're awesome.
I
They're
can-
very easy to work with.
I can call Lisa too.
Up on the top right-hand corner of the application is, of the thing is contact us.
Okay.
And
Oh,
you
it's
can
like a little
email
help
with them,
person.
you can, yeah.
Okay.
But it's like a good, like
Oh, yes.
AI
Yeah,
person, like
yeah.
it's not like, oh,
Good.
please see this link on our website for help. They'll actually help you.
That's good.
Yeah, or sometimes, I mean, I've called previously, and it was the director himself that called me back, so. They're a smaller company, but they're good,
Responsive.
yeah.
That's nice. I think it's such a great tool.
Yeah, it's a little bit less pressure to make sure we have everything figured out before you're gone.
I mean, and I'm not, you know,
When did it renew
moving.
recently?
I think it was February. I'll
February.
double check the
Okay.
invoice, but what are we in? March. I think it was last month.
Okay.
Could have been December. It's not, it's on the
It's not
anniversary of
imminent.
when you joined. It's not, yeah. But I'll check that.
All right. Anything else? And if you think of things, if Laurie and I come in and spend a
Mhm.
morning with you or something, you know, dump them on us, and then we'll try to solve it from there. I mean, the reality is, we are not gonna be able to just replace what's happening, but
Yeah.
I think if we can hold on to a little bit of the progress that Melissa's made, I think that will go a long way. So,
Sorry, Melissa, I have one question about the rides that we're providing.
Mhm.
Do any of them require any special accessibility?
We have one that currently has a wheelchair.
Okay, so that's the other thing, is if that gets reduced or, you know, they don't have an option, like, does whatever replacement we come up with have an accessible
Well, that's-
vehicle?
Where Neshoba Neighbors has picked up,
yeah.
if we weren't able to provide a ride.
Yep.
They've been able to help her.
Okay, anything else that anyone can think of? Kate, anything else that you can think of?
No.
Okay.
So what message are we trying to bring to the select board on Monday?
Well, we've sent in the packet, yep, so,
Well, hours probably,
yeah,
with the select board, see what kind of hours we can offer
Yeah,
going forward.
yeah, I
And-
think that's a
Or an
delay,
assistant as well, maybe.
yeah. I mean, I think that's the problem we're at a place where we can't really post the position or ask for it to be posted because we don't know what hours are realistically gonna be available to us. I think, you know, we can make argument for the hours that were approved, but then we have to.
Do we know where that stands?
No, that's why we have to go to the meeting on Monday,
Okay.
to
It's
discuss
really
the
about-
budget that I submitted.
It's really about next year's budget.
Yeah.
you know.
Oh, okay.
That's why, so now, everything till June is whatever it is, but this budget that
Yeah, I mean, you
we
can't go
submitted will
hire
be July.
somebody if they don't know what the
Yeah,
job,
that would
Right.
Ron
28
to
hours, or
commit.
38 hours, is it, you know, whatever the board, you know, comes up with,
Mhm.
or agrees to, then, you know, I would think we could move forward, you know. I don't know, do you really wanna wait for town meeting?
No, I mean, I'd rather, I wish this was posted a month ago, but,
Okay.
and we wouldn't be in this position, but I think I would feel not right about posting this and hiring someone into something this undefined.
Well, and I think that's something too, honestly, that you need to think about, as the role itself. What are you wanting to focus on? And it may take another job description, it may take some thinking and some time to reevaluate that, but if you want programs, if you want outreach, if you want all of this stuff, it's not feasible to do it in 28 hours.
Exactly. Well, we know that.
I spent 2.5 hours of my day today setting up a program, staying with the program, closing down the program, getting the invoice, coming back here. Other places, which I know were not as big, and we haven't shown that growth yet, have people for each one of these. And
Yeah.
so every little task that the director has to do all adds up. And I think that's where it needs to be defined, what you want to focus on. If it's just social services, then that's what you put in, and they're not responsible for bringing on any additional programs like crafting and painting, and you explain that and you're transparent to the seniors of the community.
I think, though, that we have defined as a board what we see the goals of this position being, and I think, I think we need to make a statement for the town, and what, I think we're shortchanging our seniors in town if we don't try to give them the full complement of what they need.
And that's what I'm saying.
Which
If
is
it's just
all of those
coming-
things.
Yes, but I think that's
It's
where
rides,
you need to.
it's activities,
Yeah.
it's social service.
And I think putting that all together is where you go from needing more hours. And yes,
Exactly.
admin is some of it, but there's a gap in our outreach here. Again, having to set up programs, trying to find people that want to volunteer. It's the same volunteer pool for multiple things. And we have a gentleman on our board, we have a woman on our board that are very into so many things that you're pulling from the same pool, and it's always the same people. So volunteers have been a challenge to get. Even if I had volunteers to set up, it takes something off of that to be able to do the more
Right.
intricate, the director responsibilities. And that's, I think if that's the expectation, it's gonna have to be set out and explained.
Can we
But-
get a copy of the previous, of your
Yeah.
job description?
Yep.
But I keep on going back to the fact that this job isn't a 20-hour, you can pay hours a week, but it's not a 28-hour-a-week job. It's, you pick up the phone if the phone rings, and it doesn't matter what day. It's, you wear all these hats, and you do what needs to be done when it needs to be done. And that's how small towns, small companies, how they all work. And to, like, you know, for 28 hours or less, it's just like acknowledging that person's gonna be working a lot more than that, and so be it.
Yeah. Or a salary position versus hourly.
Yeah, but, yeah, you don't give someone a salary position at 28 hours when you know it's a 36-hour
No,
job.
no, but that's what I'm saying, if you,
Right, it's
right?
not gonna-
That's how
I
you get
can't
your
endorse
$70,000
that.
salary, but you're working
Yeah,
48 hours or 50 hours, you know, that's the difference, and hourly is 28 hours, this is your out at 3. And it's hard to do that. You know, if you have somebody sitting in your office at 2:40 and you're like, oh, I'm supposed to leave in 20 minutes, you know, so those are the things that you run into, and it's not every day.
Yeah,
That
sorry,
doesn't
this is
happen every
my
day, but-
half day. I've already worked my 28.
Right, yeah, I mean, it's-
Bye. No,
Yeah,
it's
so I
like-
think, I think that goes just with, and I can resend out what my week looks like to make the 28 hours, and then I have a form of, a list of what my goals were, and we'll talk Monday to the select board about that too. What I wasn't able to get done, that we wanted to get done, where the gaps were in not having either admin or something. And I did do a 5-year plan as well, which for the first time we had to include that in our budgets to Kristen. And so I can print that out too, and we can talk about that.
Can I say
but-
one thing, Melissa?
Yeah,
And I think I read through the documents, but I'm not sure if something was updated after the ones I read through. But I don't think that the time that you put into hours at 19 Carter and sort of having that office hour there during the coffee hour, making yourself accessible to the community on a consistent basis, you know, I don't know, I think you make that case more, like,
I was about to
The
say the same
office
exact
hours.
thing.
approaching you to talk to you about stuff, you just worked on your other tasks that you had going on. And you went to where the people were, and so then it made it easier for them if they were a little bit uncomfortable about going to the town office.
yeah.
They could just slide over a few tables over and say, hey, can we have a confidential conversation, or
And if it was, yeah, you're right, Kate, and if it turned into something that needed more time or confidential, you know, they were like, hey, you know, can I come see you at whatever, but.
And
But
it,
I want you to just say, we have to find a way to just, I don't know, you were very collaborative with the other, community, setups already, you know, 19 Carter, all these other groups. You were
Mhm.
very willing to work with, collaborate with them, and definitely need to see that in the next person, but I feel like it needs to be applauded in you. And it needs to be recognized in the paperwork that you went above and beyond.
yeah.
And that stuff takes time.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think, you know, when I talked about you doing this, I think just doing this takes time, but I think also it was obvious that there's plenty of things that are not on that list and not accounted for time-wise, so.
No.
Yeah.
I just, like, framing it a different way, I think it's important that that is documented as to what was fit into the 28-hour week.
Yeah.
And then if you need to take out some and say, hey, by the way, like I was coming in on Fridays and Saturdays doing X, Y, and Z, and that was extra. But I think we'll be doing a disservice if it all gets in there and then someone reads the document and says, well, they were able to do all this in 28 hours. Well,
Right.
No, they weren't.
Right,
Right,
right.
right.
Which I think the outreach portion is a huge part of it.
Yeah. I
But,
did
yeah.
talk to Lisa Dion. She is going to send me those job descriptions
Okay.
for her job and Heather's job. She's also going to send me the annual report that she did so that I can sort of see what they accomplished. I asked her when she started, what was there existing, and she said really nothing. It was sort of like when Melissa started.
And where are they again?
Bolton.
Bolton, okay.
And so I asked her, how long realistically did it take to get momentum on some of this stuff? And she said at least a couple of years. So, which is exactly what I thought she would say, you know? So
So
anyway,
that's just gonna put us back that much.
exactly, which, yeah, I find is very,
I think if we like start moving this forward and we have some good discussions, I think we have to establish like goals. So like if the select board says they want to see a certain level of ridership by a certain period, that's fair. And if we don't meet it, we know what's happening, we can adjust. But
Yeah.
as
yeah,
long
I
as they
think
are
that's fair.
realistic
I-
in their goals.
exactly.
Yeah.
Because they are, no,
They have to agree. They have to be agreed to by everyone. That's
Right.
you
Yeah.
can't impose goals on people.
And I think that is, I honestly, I like that idea. I think that's fair because you know what you're working towards. Because to us, having those 12 riders, that's 12 riders that we've helped.
Mhm.
And it doesn't seem like a lot, but it's 2 months. And we've helped 12
Exactly.
people get to doctor's
Right,
appointments.
50
right, you have to
times.
look at, like you said, reframe it,
Yeah.
you have to look at it.
Yeah.
You're not looking
In
at
the positive
right.
as, not just 12
Yeah.
riders, but, and I have data from Bob too that we're gonna talk about on Monday, as well, from the Neshoba neighbors, and how many people, their membership, I think it was, I don't wanna speak off terms, but it was like 25 the first month and then 30 the
One or
second month or
something, yeah.
something, which is all people from Berlin, Northbrook 1 and 2, they calculated all the numbers out for me, so I'll send that to you guys as well.
You want to know them
but-
numbers?
and
You want to know those numbers?
Oh, if you want to, or do you just want to email? Well, it's 6:03. What do you think?
I also put them, part of
Oh,
that
that's right,
into the
into the
presentation for the select board. And so, yeah, that,
We can send that out too.
for what it's worth. Okay.
And when you say 12 riders, it isn't 12 rides, it's 12
No,
riders.
12
riders.
riders, 12 people,
12 unique
Using-
riders,
Using how many rides?
yeah,
53.
Yeah,
That's a lot.
That
it's
is
a lot of rides.
yeah, actually.
If you say
That-
12.
That
you
is a
go,
lot of rides,
Yeah.
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 2 months.
But not
12.
by the select.
Than just the numbers, I think we're having to put this data on paper, and these are people, and you're actually affecting their lives in a very positive way.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Giving them the medical care that they need, or getting them the social access that they need. So,
Yep.
how do you translate that for the people who are just looking at the numbers?
the numbers, right, and it's the numbers driven. The thing about a council on aging is it's more, yes, it's data driven, but it's more of an emotional, and that's the empathy and
Connecting,
that's
yeah.
what you're here for. And I understand the budget and not wanting to put money where it's not being used, and Monday we can talk about possible proposals of other things, how to move it, or, do we need a full 2 drivers right now? Do we need the budget for that? There's multiple things, but I do think that it's hard to put a number on a senior population saying that it's not working or you're not helping when even 12 is a good number.
Right.
That's
Yeah.
12 people that didn't have to pay for an Uber, Lyft.
Or not go.
Family
Or
and
not
friends
go,
have
yeah.
to
Or not go,
come
which
in
is
or not
often
go.
what
Or the person in the
Right.
wheelchair, they don't have all those options.
Yeah.
They hope dial a ride
I
shows
think
up.
for me as well, it speaks a lot about a community who does not value their seniors enough to give them any services in town. That speaks a lot about this community to me, if that's the case. We have 35+% of the population here is people over 60. And if there is no transportation, if there is no COA, what does that say about us?
Don't
It's
care.
disappointing.
But if people are hot on numbers, let's give them the bigger number. So there are 12 riders. Okay, 12 doesn't sound significant, but if it's 50-something
We
rides.
gave them both.
Yeah, but I'm saying,
Spin it like Derek
Accentuate
was
the
saying.
big
Yeah.
one.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly, yeah.
And,
Yeah.
and not just that, it's not like we're taking them to the park. Most of those are medical appointments.
Right.
They
right.
are, and I have the breakdown, just like
Oh, good. You
Bob
have that
does for
breakdown because, yeah,
Neshoba.
that's-
I have the breakdown.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's significant.
Yeah.
Different.
What
It's
was
not,
medical, not medical.
yeah, it's like, oh, they're gonna have to find, well, no, the difference is they might not get their care, they might miss their appointment, and guess what? Do you know how hard it is to get certain specialists in the state,
Yeah.
especially geriatric?
Well,
There's no
yeah.
access.
Is it the case that this is winter and we've had significant weather?
Yeah,
Mhm.
it's
Yeah.
been one of the harder winters in the past
Appointments,
5-ish
scheduling
years.
rides.
Yeah.
The senior population is typically, I don't wanna generalize, but typically they're the most fearful of driving in adverse weather.
Mhm.
They
Or
don't-
going out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
So,
There were certainly appointments canceled with the snowstorms.
Imagine.
Yeah,
I would
yeah,
imagine
they
so.
did have, we had cancellations for the van, but that's because one, because we follow the school schedule, so, when they closed, we closed, but, the doctor's offices had closed for the
Yeah.
patients, so they
For a
didn't
couple days.
lose appointments because we weren't running.
It was because
It was
they-
because their doctors closed as well, so it's not anything that we did to not run those.
Right.
It was weather related. And I mean, I do have those numbers as well. You know, we know when the storms were, we know who was canceled.
But it's like the short-term goal was get the van up and running and people knowing about it, and we literally, right now, like, just got there.
Yep. And
Um,
I think too, that is another thing that doesn't get done in the hours allotted is for 2 weeks, 3 weeks probably now, maybe closer to a month now, actually. I've been saying that I wanted to go to Northbrook and put the flyers on every door, right? So everybody knows about it. It's one thing to put in Powderhouse News. It's one thing to put a flyer downstairs. Apparently they take them to their own room and nobody else sees it. But I haven't been able to get there. And so it's like, those are the things that's part of this job, is doing that legwork and building those relationships and getting people to trust us and know that we have those services. And when you can't get out into the world or the town to do those things, it makes it
Yep.
difficult. They don't know what we have.
And
you
back
know,
to
so
the
they're
weather.
like, bah.
Yeah, back to the weather. It's not like, hey, this is a new service. You're gonna walk down Northbrook sidewalk and run into everybody. People
Yeah.
don't walk around
Right.
on the ice.
Right.
Sorry.
Right.
So it's like, now that the weather's getting better, it's the next goal is to raise awareness, see the increase, and then evaluate the need.
Yeah, and that's the thing. You know, the harder part is, you know, we talk about volunteers and that stuff.
Yeah.
I can't send some of my senior volunteers to walk around. They're not
Right.
able to, or they don't want to do those tasks. You know, they want the ones that
You sit there and.
they want to make the calls and say, hey, you know, we have a program coming up next week. Would you want to go? You know, those are the things that I had 2 women approach me and say that they would do, and I was like, okay,
Perfect.
great. But
I
there's
think that's
definitely
a task for
things.
the COA though, to walk around with like if we
Flyer,
had a
like a
flyer
flyer.
and say, hey, would you know, we have the van available, here's a flyer with the information, consider using it, and, you know, I'm on the COA, and
Yeah.
introduce ourselves. and
I don't think that's a terrible idea either, so they know who you guys are too.
Yeah.
I also wanted to take a group picture, and put it in one of the Powderhouse News, but we don't have the whole board here at any one given time.
I know.
And not just that, you gotta
Um,
remember, there's
but-
2 boards. There's the Northbrook board, and
Yeah,
then there's
that's true, and then they
us.
have
Like,
the-
people don't really differentiate between the 2.
Does Northbrook 2, you may or may not know this, Bob, does Northbrook 2 have a board?
not that I'm aware of, but
Just one?
that's
Yeah.
not gospel. I don't know that they
Yeah.
are.
I don't, it took me months to figure out that we had residents that were on like a Northbrook 1 board.
Oh,
I
yeah.
was like, oh, we do? So, I mean, that's why I was just like, I didn't know, we've never talked about Northbrook 2 having a board. It's always Northbrook 1, but I didn't know if you knew.
When we were doing the town part of House News, I would deliver like 20 or so to each one
Mm-hmm.
of them and just put them in their community
Community
room
rooms.
in the
Yeah.
Northbrook 1 and Northbrook 2. I'd just get them into the office there. She'd
Yeah,
put them out.
she put them out. Yeah, she's great. Kristen's really good to work with. Northbrook 1 doesn't have somebody on site, and so
I
that's
know.
why it's a little bit more difficult, but that's why I keep saying
Yeah.
Kristen's great, because
Tom.
you actually have,
Oh, Tom.
again,
Tom,
that
yeah.
person that you can go to that helps out
Right.
and
We'll do those
lets
things
the
for you,
residents
right.
know what's going on too.
Yeah, this,
but-
Tommy's there at Northbrook 1. I'd just call him, tell him I've got him here, I'd stick him
Okay.
on the door and
Let-
he'd put him inside.
Yeah.
Basically lives on site.
Yeah,
Yeah,
right
right.
across the street, yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I think there's still things to think about. Derek, you said it earlier, you know, the future, of what it is, setting the expectation, because I don't know that that's clear in their idea of the job, our idea of the job,
Well,
what
I
our goals
hope-
are.
I hope sort of
I think we need
the
to,
goals that we outlined for Monday's meeting will help with some of that
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah,
I hope, but
And also, you're leaving for a reason. It's up to us to take a good, hard look and honest look at that reason and try making sure that the next person, we don't go through this again. And, you know, I apologize that, you know, it's
yeah.
come to this point and you're moving on. And, you know, I really, I was excited to work with you. I talk with people across the state who do this stuff, and, your knowledge and your involvement with stuff is just, it's just it's rare. And I think that it's almost like, you know, we found a great person and the circumstances around it just didn't work. And we need to fix them, because I don't want to do this again.
yeah.
Especially if we find another
I don't
great
think any of
person.
us want,
Right, yeah,
Yeah,
right.
exactly.
And that's why I
we don't want to do it right now.
want to help as much as I can, so you don't
We
have to
appreciate that.
do
Yeah.
that, because,
It's weird. It's almost like I'm talking like she's
This
not
is-
right here next to me.
well, and it wasn't like an easy decision. It's been a great community to work with, and I came back here with all these high hopes and things that I wanted to do, and it feels more like a failure on my part, and that's where I struggle.
But
That's where it's
don't-
hard.
We do not feel that way about
No.
you at all. I think you were an enormous success, and I certainly can speak for me that I totally understand why you had to move on.
Absolutely.
It's,
Oh,
I
yeah.
think it's horrible that it came to this, but you should not consider it a failure at all. Look
Not at
where
all.
you got us to this
No.
point, from nothing,
I echo those sentiments.
from
I have to
nothing.
go, guys, but Melissa, you've been fabulous.
Thank you.
Yep.
I'll send you more payroll to sign. At the last minute.
All right, I don't want to keep everyone any longer.
I
All
think
right.
it's a good starting
Yep.
point of
And
what
we can talk
yeah.
about when we can spend a few hours with you.
And I think too, with these, if I send all this stuff, it might too, it'll give you more information to look at as a whole packet, not like, here's my document for this, and I sent you this one last week, and
Yeah.
I'll do it as a whole packet for this, so you have everything
Okay,
in one.
All right, motion to adjourn.
Second,
Aye.
actually
Aye.
first.